The only bank records we got, and this is pretty interesting, we got them from Cathay Bank. Is that the Chinese Communist Party? Is that a shot across President Biden's bow, saying, listen, this is some of the information we have. If you don't toe the line, if you don't do things that please us, we're going to even provide even more information. A bank from China, let's face it, the Communist Party controls those types of institutions. They willingly gave us the documents that backed up the Treasury records.
That was Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson with me yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures, revealing Cathay Bank handed over Biden family financial records. Cathay Bank is the oldest operating bank in the United States. It was founded by Chinese Americans to serve the Chinese community. It has offices in Los Angeles as well as representative offices in Hong Kong, Beijing, Shanghai, Taipei. The GOP's investigation finding that the Biden family received payments from Hunter Biden's business associate, Rob Walker, and their joint venture with a Chinese energy firm. Mike, I thought this was really interesting that when Ron Johnson was demanding the financial records, it was only Cathay Bank who handed them over. Now we know that James Comer on the House Oversight Committee has received some banking records from American banks, but only having to do with one deal. Comer says there are 11 other deals out there that he thinks will be similar to what he saw with the first deal, which was Rob Walker got a check for $3 million. The very next day, he sent $1+ million of that distributed to Biden family members.
Well, Maria, a lot of this information was leaked when Hunter's laptop came out and some of the Rosemont Seneca banking records came out. But look, when the Democrats were in charge and they demanded phone records without warrants on all sorts of people attached to the Trump orbit, they were given uniformly without question. And a lot of times, the people whose phone records were being turned over had a day or two notice to try and sue and block that. It's just funny how none of these banks will comply with Congress now that it's a Democrat. It is beyond the pale of a two-tier justice system and the way these things work. And let's just go back in time and remind everyone, like, nobody gets $1 billion sole mandate from the Chinese government to start a private equity firm, especially one that doesn't have any private equity experience, especially someone that doesn't have any private equity experience and has a debilitating crack habit. So what type of influence did they buy as the Chinese Communist Party is running around with Russia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, setting up a new reserve currency to take out the United States of America? What did the Bidens give up, and what is it doing to our national security?
Right. And, that's why we keep asking, what exactly was that money used for? I mean, what were they paying the Biden family for? What did they get? But, Lee, I think this point that Ron Johnson made is really a scary one, and that is Cathay Bank, were they so willing to give up the records as a message to Joe Biden, look, this is what we're doing now, we got plenty of records, and unless you do what we want, those records will be released publicly. That's what Ron Johnson was saying.
Yeah, I mean, it is a valid point. I mean, let's understand, first of all, this isn't just a Chinese bank. This is an American bank that was founded by Chinese Americans. But still, the signal that it sends, I think, is significant and important. And when you think about the American people and how they view this right now, trust in China is at an all-time low in all of testing. And that is saying something, because imagine, even after Tiananmen Square, even after everything that we've been through with China, at this moment, only 15% of Americans trust China. And when you see this kind of a connection between a sitting president, his son, and the Chinese government, when people just don't trust this and know that it's one of the biggest threats facing us right now, that's a really big issue that needs to be addressed. The American people are rightly concerned. They deserve to have answers. And I think at a minimum, the president needs to make a statement and address people's concerns, because they're valid.